Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in for Wednesday's episode of Chemical Guy's Detail Garage. Now, as mentioned on Monday where we cleaned the wheels of my Pontiac Catalina, I was going to bring it back in here to show you guys how to properly apply dressing to make it last and also prevent any kind of tire sling. So, as I mentioned, we have this car in here because I've been working on it, and since it's been sitting outside, the wheels got really dirty as well as the tires, and now you see they're very dry and it just has this brown effect on there. So I want to show you guys a real quick way to clean it as well as protect it without having a huge mess. And to start off, we're going to be using nonsense, which I've diluted 10-to-1 in this bottle, which means there's 10 parts water to 1 part product. And I'll just spray it directly on the surface. You can use a degreaser, you can use a wheel cleaner. But I like nonsense because it's a very gentle clean, so it's not going to be harming the white stripe, or if you have lettering or if you have white walls, it's not going to be taking the dye off. And now I'm going to take a nifty brush, which I'm going to use to agitate the cleaner. But I want the cleaner to do most of the work, so you don't have to vigorously scrub the tire. Back and forth, you want to get it foaming, and that's how you lift off your old dressings or any kind of filth. And you can use the same process on your trim or any kind of tire essentially, but you see that brown milkiness. That's old dressings and grease coming off of the surface. But the reason why we're doing this step and not just putting a dressing on top of it is because this is how you make your dressings last. By cleaning them and drying them thoroughly, this is going to ensure that the surface is nice and clean. It has a fresh surface for your dressings to bond to. And that's the same case whether you're using an oil-based or a water-based, but I like the shine of a water-based because one, it's kind of more of a natural look, but two, it's also going to be dry to the touch, so it doesn't collect any kind of dirt or debris, and it doesn't have the tendency to fling off. So we're just going to continue working our way around the wheel. It's a little noisy because we are outside the detail garage. Like that, there's trucks passing by. And on top of having a cold, it's kind of hard to talk. Now I'm taking a clean microfiber towel. And just like we do with any kind of cleaning, we're starting at the top and then working our way around. All that dirt that was on the surface of the tire. That also includes the old dressings that were on there. There you go, nice and fresh. You want to make sure it's completely dry before you put your dressings on there, because again, this is going to give you that best bond. Dressings don't cling very well to any surface, whether it's tires or trim, if it's dirty or if it's wet, so you want to make sure it's nice and clean and it's also very dry before you put the dressing on there. For those of you guys who have low profile tires, I'm sure you have tricks of getting all the way to the bottom of the tire, but my suggestion is to get yourself a 2x4 and just roll the car on top of that. That way you can work your way all the way around the tire, or I guess if you just move the car, that's also a simple way to do it, but if you want to do it all in one shot, just roll the car on top of a block. This way you can get all the way around the tire. Now the tire is nice and dry, I'm going to show you one quick way to clean up your stripes here, or if you're working with lettering, you can just take a very fine bristle brush. This is the medium size of the All in the Details brush. And we'll just spray it with a little bit of the nonsense as well. And gently working it back and forth. This removes any kind of grease. Again, any old dressings or road grime. Give you a little before and after here, just a little 50-50. And you can also put the dressings on top of the white lettering or the white walls to give it a little bit of an extra gloss. Some protection. Nice and dry, very clean, and then we can move on to our actual protection stage, or the final steps of giving your car that final touch, which is going to be the dressing. Okay, since so many of you want to know, this is a 1966 Pontiac Catalina, which was modeled after the GTO, which was the muscle car of its day. The Catalina is a lower model, or base model if you will. It's a knockoff of the Le Mans, which is a knockoff of the GTO. Fun fact, this car was designed by John DeLorean, if anyone knows who that guy is. And I've had this car for nearly a decade now. Mostly original, aside from the wheels, the exhaust, and the carburetor, because it came with a 2-barrel Rochester, which is good for economy, but not very good for keeping in tune, especially being 50 years old, and it just has no power. So now it's got a 4-barrel Edelbrock carburetor. and dual glass packs all the way from the manifold back. Original paint here. This is an enamel finish. It's got original chrome on there. It's got some weight reduction back here, also known as rust. And this is my car. So yeah, now that we've cleaned up the tire, we're ready to go on to the final step, which is going to be applying one of my favorite dressings, which is V.R.P. And the reason for that is because you can use it on your interior and your exterior, on any vinyl, rubber, plastics, hence the name V.R.P. But you can use it on your tires, you can use it on your trim, even on the engine bay, on components that, you know, just want to get that final touch to give it some of that rich luster. And you just want to apply a few dots to the surface, work it in, and then if you want more of a natural look or a matte sheen, just wipe off any excess. So I can't reach it. So we'll start by shaking up the bottle. This is our V.R.P. water-based dressing. A lot of people ask us, how do you tell the difference between a water-based or an oil-based? Aside from the shine, you can tell because water-based usually has a milky finish, while oil-based is very clear or translucent. And we're just going to apply a few lines. You can do dots or lines. We'll do a couple lines. And then we'll start at the top here. And just like when you're applying your favorite waxes or any kind of protective coating, really you want to start by spreading it out this way. You're not putting a heavy glob in one area. And then you come back and work it in. And like I said, you can just leave it there if you want that high shine, or buff it off with the clean microfiber towel to give yourself more of that natural look. And the best way to make this last is by buffing off any of the excess, because the high points, that's what slings off the surface because it's too heavy of a coat. So coming back with that towel really makes a difference. Gives you a better overall finish because now it's knocking down anything that's uneven. But again, it's going to prevent any kind of sling, which keeps the side of your car nice and clean. But just by doing that one step, you see that now the tire has this really rich, lustrous look. A lot of people like the look of a bare tire. I also like that look too, but this has more of a glossier finish, which makes it look cleaner, or at least visually it looks cleaner. And it also helps the tire to kind of, you know, rejuvenate itself. Now it's filling in any of the cracks here. It gives more of a lustrous look. So guys, I know this was a pretty quick video, but this is just a quick way to help you guys preventing any kind of tire sling. It also helps it last as long as possible, and also makes your car look a lot better. So if you want to learn more about these products, head over to our website, chemicalguys.com, or your local detail garage. If you like today's video, if you like my Pontiac, or you want to know more things about it, be sure to drop your comments down below. Give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.